Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I know I'm like 3 weeks late. Welcome to my channel. This is Fame with Tiffany Renee. I am Tiffany Renee. If you have been here before, welcome back. Thank you for coming back by. If you are new to my channel and you've never seen this face a day in your life, welcome. Welcome. This is a safe space. All people are welcome here. There is no negative Nancy's, hateration, holleration allowed over here. And I love that about the community that is growing. Everyone is just so kind and so open. And that is the type of community that I intend on creating. Everyone is just kind of so open and open-minded and just open to hear each other's experiences, and you're so open to hear my experiences and my techniques and things that have been working for me on this journey called life. And that's what we talk about here on my channel. We talk about everything: metaphysics, quantum physics, esoteric stuff. We talk about things that have to do with life, with your journey, personal journey, and growth, and all of the wonderful things that make us human as we go on this experience in this physical body, and just bettering our experience and elevating ourselves, elevating our consciousness in the most harmonious way possible. I know it's been a while. It's been a little over a month since my last update. My last video was on my birthday, December 21st. So it's been about a month since my last post, and I was under the weather then. I am feeling better. There has just been a lot going on. So life has been lifing a lot over the last few weeks, and I've just needed to get myself grounded. I needed to get myself in order. I've had a lot of things going on with family, and that's still kind of going on, but it's just not as intense as it was. Things going on with me, things going on with my health, just different things changing in my life and my circumstances in every aspect of my life that I really just had to step back and focus on and really dig into my practice, feeling my feelings, feeling my emotions, just understanding and accepting what's going on, and really getting into our meditations and just listening for answers, and I'll talk more about that in other videos. But today I really was inspired, because I only come to y'all with videos when I'm inspired, because I want to add value to anything that I put on my channel. I want it to be of value to you all. So I have to make videos when I'm inspired. And there were a few topics that I was bouncing around with, and I'm like, maybe I should do a video about that. And it just didn't seem like the right time. It didn't seem like the right time for different topics. But then I was scrolling on TikTok, one of the few times, because I'm rarely ever on there. And when I am on there, I'll be on there for like 30 or 40 minutes at one block of time. And then I won't be on there again for like 1 or 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So I was on there, and I came across something, a really profound video from just some random lady. I have no idea who she is. And she was just talking about a history class that she was taking. And she was quoting what her professor had said. And that quote, it was so profound, I had to write it down. And it was about narratives. And I was like, that is it. That's it, because it was going along with everything that I'm dealing with right now, and my own epiphany that I had about a particular circumstance that I'm dealing with currently. That I had this epiphany maybe like 4 or 5 days before I saw that video. So that video to me was confirmation that this is what your first video for 2023 needs to be about. It needs to be about this. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to talk about narratives in the stories that we tell. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So feel free, before I jump into that, to like, share, subscribe, donate to the channel if the spirit moves you. And if you are interested in releasing any way or transforming your body in any old kind of way, not in any old kind of way, but in the way that you want to transform your body, how about that? I will leave the link to my book, Pounds Down, Forks Up, which is available on Amazon. I will put the link in the description below. Thank you all for everyone who's been purchasing my book. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Every month when I see that I'm getting more people who are buying it, I'm getting more alerts. I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you for all of the new subscribers that I've gotten, even since the end of last year to now. Thank you. Everyone who subscribes to my channel, I love you so much. Thank you so much. I get super excited. I appreciate you all more than I could possibly say. Yes, you probably noticed that my nails are a little bit shorter than usual. Yes, they are. At the beginning of every year, I do like a big chop for my nails, just so they can kind of start over and grow. And sometimes they would be chipping, and I'm holding them together with super glue, and I have to cut them and reshape them and all that stuff so they can start growing fresh for the year. But trust, give me a few weeks, another month or so, month or two, they will be long again, okay? Because I will still be coming with the long nails because I'm obsessed with my long nails, okay? Just give me some time, they will grow back, okay? I'm team long nails all the way. So trust me, I will still be bringing you the long nailage, okay? That's not going away. I am dressed grown today because a friend of mine gave me this little hot number for my birthday last year for turning 40. And I have not tried it on or anything because it looked a little small. And I thought, okay, am I skinty enough yet to get in this dress? Because it looked a little small, right? And it didn't stretch a lot because it has boning on the side. But I thought, it's been a month. I've had it. I'm at least going to try it on today and see if it fits. And lo and behold, it is a little snug, a little bit on the sides because of the boning, but it fits. I mean, we're in the dress. We're in the dress. Okay. And it's a little short number off the shoulder, very different from what I kind of usually wear because it's a little bit more exposed, but we're grown. We're 40. We're fabulous. So we're going to show a little skin today, and I thought, let me put on the jewels and we're going to do it. I'm giving you full grown glam today, okay? While I give you this inspired message, okay? So thank you to my friend Sade, who even got me this dress. She thought it was very appropriate. She's like, you're turning 40, girl. You're going to be fabulous and you're going to be grown and sexy. So here we go. So shout out to Sade. So, and I did like a photo shoot thing to, and I posted it. So I'm still glam from that because I took pictures and posted and all that stuff earlier. So now that we got that out the way, here we go with the video. Narratives. We have all heard that word probably since we were children. Narratives, narrators, narrations. And I don't think we've really, at least I haven't I've never really taken into account the power of that word narrative until I really started getting into metaphysics and really understanding how we dictate our life experience, and then learning how quantum physics is backing this, and how science is able to explain how this is possible because there's multiple probability. We live in a world or a universe of probability. Everything is a probability or a possibility. And because we live in a universe of probability and possibility, anything is possible. All things are possible or probable. And therefore, you can have a multitude of narratives to fit every aspect of your life, every belief system that you have, it can apply. It can apply to anything. So I really started taking this idea of narratives more seriously, which is why so many metaphysical teachers and spiritualists and things really emphasize your narrative when they mention, what are you telling yourself? What is the story that you're telling? What narrative are you telling? We've heard this. I know many of us have heard this, especially if you're in this community. You've heard that. What story am I telling? What narrative am I telling? I will tell you that just a few days ago, when I came across this TikTok video, that question for me went from what narrative am I telling to whose narrative am I telling? That is a game changer. When you start questioning your narrative, actually questioning, not just being mindful of the narrative that's being told, but start questioning who is actually telling the story. Whose narrative are you following? You will really start to unlock a lot of things about yourself and about your own beliefs that you probably don't even align with anymore, and that you probably never really did. It is a true game changer. I'm going to share with you the quote from the woman's story. Now, this brief synopsis, I won't give all of the details, but it was basically a woman, and she was taking a class about a really heavy historical ethics type of class, and she had asked the professor if they were going to dive into certain areas of it, and he wanted to start with a different type of foundational exercise of asking them questions about certain groups of people and certain nations, etc., to prove his point, to set them up for this theory before they dove deeper into what she wanted to talk about. And that being said, he's posed these questions and said, hey, give me the narrative, the formative narrative of this group of people, and give me the formative narrative of the story of this country. And then he asked about another particular race of people, and no one could really give a solid narrative like they could for the other race of people and for this particular country. And after people were just kind of guessing and throwing out answers, everyone just got quiet because they kind of really didn't know. And so the professor, his name is Dr. Han Jun Lee, he said this, and this is the woman quoting what he said. He said this to her class. If you don't know your formative narrative, you'll adopt someone else's story where the heroes look like them and the villains look like you. Blew my mind right out of my skull. That is probably one of the most profound statements I have ever heard in my entire life. And when I say it had so many wheels turning in my mind, because just a few days earlier, like I mentioned a little while ago, at the beginning of the video, I had already had this idea of narratives popping up. And that quote, that just kind of solidified it for me with this idea of narratives and the stories that people tell, not just the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves, but the stories that other people tell about us that we then follow. Because other people are telling their own versions of our story as well. Other people have their own narratives of who we should be and what we should be and what we should be doing or not doing in accordance to their personal thoughts, beliefs, personal traumas or biases or prejudices or expectations, or just the way they view the world and the way information is filtered through their eyes, through their own personal upbringing, through all these other factors that they've experienced on their life's journey, and the narratives that they've picked up that might not even belong to them, and they're imposing them on everybody else, on you and on the rest of the world, really, with an expectation that everyone else needs to follow that narrative. And if you're not following that narrative that they have decided is the narrative that needs to be followed, then you're off track. You're doing something wrong. And you're going to be condemned and criticized and judged. Do you see what I'm saying? But how many times do we fall into that trap? How many times have we been in that trap, and how many of us are still in that trap? Unknowingly. Every single one of us have been in that cycle. Like, I've been in that. I'm still working. Like, I just had this epiphany really recently. You know what I mean? That's a program of mine. This idea of, like, really just up until like a week ago, I really started really heavily feeling that, whose narrative am I playing out here? Like, I really started questioning everything, like everything, in 2016. So I think that was the first stepping stone for me to start challenging narratives. But I'm aware, I became aware just recently within the last week or so, that I don't think that every desire, every goal, every dream, every aspiration of mine was actually mine. Even though I would write about it, script about it, and put it as my narrative, like, oh, this is me, this is what I want. When I actually sat and thought about it and started dissecting and peeling back the layers, I was like, no, I don't think this belongs to me. I really don't think this is my story. And then I was just telling my friend, like a day or two ago, because I told her about this quote as well. And I've told a few people about it. And every single person I've read it to was like, whoa, like mind blown, right? But my narrative has been written for me since I was a child. And I see it so clearly. Since I was a child, someone else's handwriting has been in the pages of my book, the book of my life, since I was a kid. And obviously some people say, well, that's valid. You're a child. Bless, like, totally understandable. You would expect that. You would expect your parents or your guardians, your caregivers, you would expect the dominant narrative to be from the adults around you growing up as a kid, until you developed enough of your own discernment to make your own decisions, right? Makes sense. But at some point in time, when you start maturing and you start developing the capacity to think for yourself and to make smart decisions, educated decisions, and those individuals or even other individuals, it could be teachers, employers, societal figures, political figures, celebrities, anyone who you look up to, other people, media in general, start putting in their 2 cents, right? And then all of a sudden, what you thought that you wanted, it gets diluted. And all of a sudden, you notice that your handwriting is no longer in the pages of your story. You start seeing other people's handwriting. Other people are turning the pages of your story, filling in the pages of who you are supposed to be, who Tiffany's supposed to be, who Sally's supposed to be, who Mike is supposed to be, who Erica's supposed to be. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like you take that book and you start following it as if it's you who's writing it. But you're the narrator. You are telling your story, but you're telling a story that you're not even writing. You're living out a script of your own story that you didn't even write. I had a big aha moment when I took Roxy Talks. Check her out. She's awesome. Roxy Talks has this workshop called the Specific Person Workshop. And it's kind of designed to help you get to the bottom of like relationship stuff, to kind of help you unlock a lot of emotions, to get to the core of you, that kind of prepares you for relationships. But it doesn't have to. I didn't use it for relationships because I wasn't looking for a specific person. So I just used it for me. And doing that Specific Person Workshop, the questions that you have to ask yourself and that you have to write down, it had me questioning by the end of all the modules. When I got through them all, it had me questioning whether or not I even really wanted to be in a relationship. It's like, do I really desire companionship? Like, do I really desire the whole love and marriage and family thing? Or do I want it because I think I'm supposed to want it? Because it was written in my narrative by outside people and environments that I'm supposed to want it. It was placed in my narrative that I'm supposed to want this. Therefore, it's been a goal of mine to achieve, but it's a goal that I didn't put there. So I would be up here seeking, especially all of my 20s, because I've been single all of my 30s and I'm 40 now, and all of my 20s from the age of 19 to 29, seeking companionship, putting that at the top of my list of like, this is the most important thing, is that I gotta have a husband, I gotta have kids, I gotta be in a relationship. Like, it was just as important as it was like a part of my survival. That was part of a narrative that I didn't put there. That was put on me. That narrative was placed on me that I had to have that in order to be of value, in order to be a woman, I guess, you know what I mean? In order to feel complete and whole, like I actually did something, I needed to have that. I needed to have the companionship, the family, the whole, all of that. Otherwise, it's like, well, then you've done nothing with your life then. That narrative was heavily pushed on me since I was a kid, like no joke. And I realized that when I was in my late 30s, after I did that Specific Person Workshop, for the first time in my life, I actually asked myself that question. Why do I even want a relationship? Do I want it? Or do I want it because I think I'm supposed to want it? That was a game changer for me. And I was like, I think I want it because I'm supposed to want it? Because I was told that I'm supposed to want it. That was somebody else writing the narrative for me. So I feel like I'm trying to stay streamlined here because nobody can tell your story but you. And I know that a lot of people, because we've all done it, like myself included, like we've all told our own narratives about other people's lives. And we've all acted according to the narrative that we have created about other people and their lives, right? You see it everywhere. People react based off of the narrative that they have created about other people, right? I mean, it happens to celebrities all the time, right? Like we see it all the time. But I'm dealing with a situation now where I know that why something is happening is based off of the narrative that this other party has created about me, because it is so different from the narrative that they have created, not only for themselves, but for the general population, period. Because what I've done and what they have seen me do, and just kind of the way my life has transitioned and kind of changed, especially since the pandemic, I believe that they're thinking, okay, well, other people have been able to WXYZ, or so therefore you should have been able to WXYZ, or, I've been able to do whatever, so therefore you should automatically be able to do whatever. It's that. That is someone who has a narrative for themselves and for everybody else, and they have put you in their narrative as well. They created a narrative for you that has to align with the narrative that they have created for themselves and everybody else around them, based on what is probable and possible and logical to them, based on their life and their life experience and their existence and the way they see the world. Therein lies the rub, because you cannot do that. You cannot impose your narrative on anybody else, because everyone does not have your narrative, because none of us see the world the same. It can appear that we're having the same experience, but trust me, we are not having the same experience. Two people can be standing right next to each other looking at the exact same thing, and you'll have two completely different interpretations. They'll see two completely different things. One might notice something that you didn't notice, but you were looking at the same thing, because everyone is only going to see things from their level of perspective. Everyone is seeking out something different. Their RAS system is only going to be looking for things based off of their belief system and their level of consciousness. Like, that's all it is. We're not all going to be looking for the same thing. We all don't want the same thing. We all don't desire the same thing. And even if we do want similar desires, we're not going about it the same way. We are not going to get there the same way. Our timelines are going to be different. So what I want to really stress or suggest to you all out there is, do not, okay, let's look at me, okay? Do not allow anyone else to narrate your story and tell you what is or is not possible for you in your life. Do not let anyone decide what you can or cannot have what you should or should not be doing, what is or is not possible or probable for you in the realm of possibilities that exist in this universe, do not allow anybody to come into your energetic field and start taking hold of your book of life and scribbling in there what you should be doing and how you should be living and how you should be operating and the way your life should go based on their thoughts and beliefs about it. No, sir, no, ma'am. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just like Dr. Lee said, if you don't know your formative narrative, okay, you'll adopt someone else's. You'll adopt somebody else's beliefs, basically, and interpretations. And once you adopt someone else's interpretations and beliefs about what your narrative needs to be, they become the hero and you become the villain. I'd be doggone if I'm going to be the villain of my own story. Absolutely not. You will not be the villain of your story and someone else be the hero. It is one thing to take advice, to take guidance, because you know your girl is all about guidance, okay? I will ask for guidance. I will seek out guidance as I'm inspired to do so. I will seek out advice as I'm inspired to do so. But it's going to be on my terms, based on my narrative, on my journey. You do not have to be force-fed a narrative to fit in somebody else's box that makes them feel comfortable about you. This is your narrative. This is your life. You get to decide what is possible for you. How many times, if you just sit back and just imagine the times, just recall moments where you wanted to do something and everybody around you was like, you know you can't do that. You know that's not possible. You know people don't do that. Like who do you think you are to think that you're good, that you're different? Like, no. You know that's not going to work for you. They are projecting their narrative onto you because they don't believe that it's possible. They do not believe in the probability of success for people like you for whatever reason. Maybe you're not rich enough. They don't think you're smart enough. They don't think you're talented enough. They don't think you're cute enough. They don't think you're religious enough. They don't think you're whatever enough. Whatever the case may be. They don't believe in whatever power that we all have. They don't believe in their own power, and they definitely don't believe in yours. Okay? So they are going to stifle you, and they're going to come to you to try to convince you, don't dream so big. Don't go after that, because it's not going to work. I'm telling you this because I love you. It's not going to work. No one ever gets into that school on the first try. You've only been at this job for 6 months and you're going to apply for assistant manager? Okay, that never happened. It's not going to happen. Don't even apply. Oh, you want to become a millionaire? You think you're going to be the first millionaire in your family and you don't even have a bachelor's degree? Oh, no, that's not going to happen for you. Sorry. You're not smart enough. You have a learning disability, remember? Like all of these things, you know, oh, you're too broke for that. You know what I mean? Or like in my case, which I have many, but, oh, your unemployment was contested? Okay, well, you know you live in an at-will state, and the state usually always sides with the employer. You have like a less than 1% chance of winning your appeal, so maybe you just shouldn't even bother, because you're probably going to lose. Like, it's looking really good that you're going to lose, so just don't even bother. You don't write my narrative. So you can think that, but that doesn't apply to me. Those statistics don't apply to me. Not in my narrative. It doesn't. I know what the statistics are and it doesn't apply to me. I'm going to file the appeal anyway. I'm going to fight the state anyway. And I did. And I represented myself in court. And guess what? I won. You know what I'm saying? So that less than 1%, well, I'm part of that less than 1%. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me. Please don't. Look, YouTube family, don't listen to nobody. Do not listen to anybody who is projecting onto you what they can't see is possible for themselves, and they therefore are trying to make you believe it's not possible for you. Just because they can't see it possible for them does not mean it's not possible for you. Even if you've never seen it possible for anybody, even if you don't know anybody who's ever done it before, does not mean that you cannot be the first one to do it. Shatter those glass ceilings, break through those barriers, bust through those walls. We are limitless beings here. This is just temporary flesh. We are so much more than this. We have so much power. Tell your story the way you want it to unfold. Watch your words, watch your thoughts, monitor your narrative. Be mindful of whose story you are walking in. Are you walking in your story, or are you walking in somebody else's story that they wrote for you? And you just obliging it because you don't know your own story. You just don't know your own narrative because you don't know who you are, or you don't know what you truly want. So you just kind of are defaulting to what everybody else is telling you to want. And you're just going on that path and saying, oh yeah, well, this is my life. This is what I want. And it's just unfolding that way. Be sure. Live your life, but be sure that it's your life that you are living. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And you can do it in so many ways. You can meditate on it. You can just meditate on the question. Show me my narrative. What's my narrative? What's my path? What's my life? Where am I going? What's my true calling? You know what I mean? You can meditate on the question. Some people like to script about it and just start writing out literally just write out your narrative. Write out your story, which a lot of people have done that. I've written some things out and that have definitely come to pass better than I could have ever imagined. You know, I mean, you can get you a nice little handy dandy scripted notebook like she has, because it's fuzzy, and, and I will script certain things and change the narrative. We have the possibility to do it. Quantum physics has taught us that, because all probabilities exist simultaneously. It's just a matter of which one you're observing. But you don't have to pay no mind to anything that doesn't resonate with you. If you feel like you're living this life, but something about it just doesn't feel fully authentically you, you might want to question, whose life are you living? Whose narrative are you acting out? Are you living out your narrative, or are you living out somebody else's? Are you living out what's somebody's expected narrative of you? And there's no shame in this. Like, we've all done it. Some of us are still doing it. I know that there's areas of my life where I'm living out narratives placed on me. But this was just an aha moment for me. It's like, I will be the hero of my own story. And you're going to be the hero of your own story. And they will be the heroes of their own story. Because we're awesome. We deserve it. That's why we're here. To have a great experience. And to be the heroes of our own story. And to live our best life our way, harmoniously, through the path of least resistance, to live it authentically, and to live it with intention, and through inspired action. And people will see you, and they'll be inspired by you, and then you'll be able to share that wisdom with them, and then you'll be being of service to others. And then it'll be just a ripple effect. And then we're all going to be just vibrating high, living our best lives. Okay? Isn't that the dream? Isn't that the ultimate goal? Like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. That one got me fired up. Yes, because I don't like that. I realize I've just lived so much of my life being told you should be doing this, or you shouldn't have been doing that, or you really need to be doing this. You need to be doing, like, all of that, and I would just keep conforming to all of it. And I realized, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. I was just collecting everybody else's pages and putting them together in my book and calling it my life and my narrative, and I was walking just walking my life, calling it my life. This is what I want. These are things that I want. But it's like, no, this is just a compilation of what other people and other things and outside sources have been telling me that I'm supposed to want. And I'm just putting a stamp on it, calling it, this is my narrative. This is Tiffany's life. This is what Tiffany wants. But it wasn't. This is what this person wanted. This is what this family member wanted. This is what this community wanted. This is what this part wanted. Very little of my narrative was actually written by me. And that's changing. That's changing. If you can relate, then you know. Drop a comment. If you feel me, let me know. We're in this together, okay? Well, we're all work in progress, but progress is still movement. All right, baby steps is still movement. We're doing it together. And I love you all. And I'm sending you so much love. And I cannot wait to hear some incredible manifestation stories, because I know that you all are 2023 is going to be a great year for all of us. I feel it. I know it's coming. It's already here, and the materialization is just about to show itself, and we all are going to be living our own personal narrative, authentic narrative lives, and it's just going to be fabulous. And we all going to be grown and fabulous in our grown outfits. And we're going to be living our best lives, okay? Happy, abundant, great health, spiritually inclined, connected to our source, connected to each other energetically. We're going to be vibrating high. Yes, all of it. Thank you all so much. Thank you for sticking with me. You know I had to give you a long video. It's the first video of the year. You knew it was going to be long. Thank you all for sticking around. I love you so much. You're so powerful. Go write your own story. And I'm totally here for you. I'm here for it. I'm here for us. Thank you all. Be safe.